Hey y'all, my name is Carla Medrano, aka Moon the Storyteller, and I tell stories. And I want to help you tell your stories and sell them. To one, I am a wife. To another, I am a mom. To thousands more, I am a nurse, a voice actor, a creator. And to you, I want to be your comic book marketer. So back in 2022, I pivoted from bedside nursing and decided to combine my knowledge and skills and my love for social media to help healthcare professionals market their products and services. Over the course of 2 years, I earned $100,000 plus as a part-time healthcare marketer. And when I started writing my own comic book, Luna, I poured all that I knew into ensuring that Luna saw the same success as my clients. As a result, Luna has had 2 successful Kickstarter launches, and most recently, I took lead on the marketing strategy behind the largest indie crossover event in history, the Epiphany Engine. That initiative raised over $60,000 in just 30 days. Joseph Illich, an award-winning Milestone and DC Comics writer and editor, gave me the title, The Misty Night of Marketing. So, I ain't new to this, y'all. Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 5, Making a Mental Shift. So, I want to make sure you all listen for a very special announcement at the end of this podcast. I am super excited to share an upcoming project with you all. All right, so let's talk about mental shifts, okay? Over the past 4 weeks, I have shared a lot of information with you. Have you started to implement those suggestions into your business? If you have, keep going. And hopefully you have already begun to see an uptick in your engagement on social media. But if you haven't, why not? Is it because you feel that no matter what you do, you just won't be able to turn things around? Or maybe imposter syndrome has set in. Or maybe you're experiencing a setback in your health. Or maybe things have gotten really busy at home or at work. Well, I have been there. In fact, I am still there. I've had some recent health setbacks myself, triggered by my Graves' disease. So I didn't get a chance to create as much content as much as I had hoped, but it didn't stop me from posting. And you may have experienced something similar. So today I wanted to step back from my usual and help you work through some of those moments, or maybe a moment you're having right now that is preventing you from creating and telling others about your work. So it's all centered around what I call false narratives. Okay, we have a way of creating false narratives about ourselves. So I wanted to talk about 3 common false narratives that I have told myself in the past, and perhaps you have as well. So false narrative number 1 is I don't have time to create content. Okay, so let's reframe that. Let's do a mental shift. Instead of saying I don't have time to create content, say I need to make time to find my community. I'm going to say it again. Instead of saying I don't have time to create content, say I need to make time to find my community. When you shift the focus from yourself to your community, it makes it a lot easier to find the time to create, right? Because without community, you won't find customers, which is the ultimate goal. All right, so false narrative number 2. The algorithm suppresses my content. Well, let's reframe that. Instead of saying the algorithm suppresses my content, I want you to say, I need to figure out what my community wants to see. Okay? Instead of saying the algorithm suppresses my content, say, I need to figure out what my community wants to see. So I want you to think about it. If your content was engaging and of course followed all the posting guidelines set forth from with Meta and maybe you're on TikTok or LinkedIn, as long as it was following the posting guidelines, and if your content is engaging, why wouldn't the algorithm show your content? The algorithm is designed to get people to stay logged on as long as possible. So once you find out what type of content your community wants to see, you should start seeing a bump in your views. All right, let's talk about the false narrative number 3. I don't know anything about marketing. Well, let's reframe that. Instead of saying, I don't know anything about marketing, I want you to say, I will listen to Moon the Storyteller's podcast every week to learn about marketing. All right. Instead of saying, I don't know anything about marketing, say, I will listen to Moon the Storyteller's podcast every week to learn about marketing. And what I'm sharing with you is information that I paid someone else to teach me. I paid someone else to teach me this knowledge that I'm dropping on you every week. And when you commit to applying it, you will begin to understand the basic principles of marketing and selling your books. So I hope that little exercise of reframing negative and false narratives about ourselves has helped you, and hopefully will help you in your homework this week. All right. So let's talk about your homework before I get into my big announcement. So your homework is going to be, I want you to take some time this week to write down any false narratives you have about yourself and work on reframing them. Okay. It could be, I don't have time. It could be, I feel like I'm too old. It feels like you feel like you don't know enough about comic books. Whatever that false narrative is, I want you to write it down and I want you to work on reframing it. Okay. Into something that is more community focused and business focused. Okay. Because when you start shifting the focus from yourself to something tangible, I think it makes it a lot easier to make those mental shifts and to stay in that headspace, right? All right, so now is time for my big announcement, okay? So if you want to take a more serious approach to building your business, I will be launching an 8-week marketing crash course to learn how to build your sales funnel from the ground up, find your people so people will be flowing into your sales funnel on a daily basis with the goal of scaling your comic book business, which means customers, which means potential sponsorships, which means how to learn how to run paid ads, everything that we know to be essential components of a business, you will learn in this 8-week crash course. And what's really great about it is that I only take a few students at a time because I really want to make sure that I am providing that personalized instruction and personalized coaching that my students will require so that they are truly undergoing this transformation that I went through some time ago. So I'm really excited. Again, I'm having a little setback with my health, so I'm not moving as fast as I would like. However, I'm starting to build it out on Kajabi. It's looking so good, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. And I'm going to be even more prouder of you once you graduate from this course. So if you're interested in learning more about this 8-week course, make sure you are subscribed to my email list because I'll be sharing all the details with those in my email community. So again, if you're listening to this and you're interested in the course, make sure you are subscribed to my email list. So that link is somewhere in the video description or maybe even in the bio, but it's somewhere where you can find it. So just to recap, as creators, we often sabotage ourselves by creating these false narratives about ourselves and our brand. However, it's important to identify those falsehoods and reframe them. Okay? And don't forget your homework. Remember, this is your season. All right. So if you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe to this podcast and make sure you subscribe to my email list so you can get this podcast directly and sent to your inbox directly every single week. All right, y'all. Until next week.